This is the first major museum survey of the work of Lee Shin-ja outside of Korea. Lee Shin-ja is an artist who was born in 1930 in Ulsan, South Korea. She still lives and works in Seoul today. Lee Shin-ja has definitely been recognized now as one of the foremost fiber artists in Korea. She really was credited in the early, I think it was the 1970s, of introducing tapestry as an art form in the country. So she was really credited with bringing something that was seen as craft into a more kind of squarely modern contemporary art realm. Lee was someone who really wasn't bothered by any type of kind of disciplinary boundary. She refused to be kind of honed in to one type of making, and you can see from her very early works on to the most recent works that she freely combined techniques, whether it was pigmentation and embroidery, whether it was playing with abstraction and figuration, found objects, made objects. She dyed all of her threads. So what she would do actually was, in post-liberation Korea, following the Korean War in the early 50s, when there was a lot of kind of poverty in the country and there were not many materials available for art making, she actually would go to secondhand shops and thrift sweaters, and then she would unravel those yarns from the sweaters, dye them a different color, and then weave them anew into her own creation. So all of the works that you see, all of the color that you see are colors that she dyed and introduced into her artworks herself. And so that spirit of kind of what she has described as making something out of nothing is so powerful to me, and I hope people can really see that in the making of the works. We have a display case in the exhibition that is showing also for the first time here in the US many of her preparatory sketches, her woven maquettes, photographs of the artists from her personal archives. And I love this display case because I think it gives visitors a fuller understanding of her life in art. And you can really see in the preparatory sketches in particular how planful Lee was in the making of her works. She really drew out kind of, all the different colors she wanted to use, the different shapes she wanted to incorporate into her weavings. But importantly, she does point out that she would always leave room to go off script. In addition to being an artist, she taught for 30 years at Deokseong Women's University in Seoul, and she was also Dean of the College of the Arts there. So she herself had a huge hand in kind of really bringing up the next generation of artists who engaged with craft, engaged with fiber, and many younger artists today in Korea cite her as an early influence. When visitors come to our galleries, I hope they'll be excited by the sheer diversity of different fiber practices that are on view, all from one artist. And I hope that they'll really understand that she is someone who fully explored the expressive possibilities of fiber and pushed fiber to its limits, both on loom, off loom, on the wall, off the wall. She's someone who thought in really dimensionally with fiber, and I hope that comes across in the exhibition.